Black hole sun, won't you come? Wash away the rain. Black hole sun, won't you come?
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do this fresh skin glowy makeup look. It's an everyday look, but you can also be versatile with the look if you wanted. It just makes your skin look so fresh, so glowy. So if you want to see how this look was created, please watch the video and don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to start off with this Glamglow. It's called Glowstarter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer in Nude Glow. I got this at Sephora for my birthday gift thing, and it's so nice. It just kind of makes your skin super like fresh looking and moisturized. So just put it all over your face. It has a really nice smell too. It smells like peach candy, which is so yummy. So you just want your face to look really moisturized to start. Next, we're gonna go into our T-zone with our Too Faced Hangover Primer, which is also super moisturizing. As you can tell, that is gonna be the whole goal of this video, to just make your skin look flawless and effortlessly glowing. Alright, so now you're gonna go in with your L'Oreal Infallible Pro-Glow Foundation in the shade Nude Beige. And this is almost gone. I need to get some more. It's my favorite. Jeffree Star actually tested this one out, and for the price, it's really full coverage and also adds that glow to your skin. So kind of just buff it into your skin everywhere, covering all the redness, and just really making sure that you get underneath the jawline and kind of into your hairline, but not too much, because you want it to look very blended. Yeah. And just down your neck as well, a little bit. Okay. So now that you're done that, you're just gonna wanna go in with your Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And I'm from Canada, so I had to go to the States to buy this, and I was so happy to see they had it in Ulta. This is in the shade Light. Let me just wet my beauty blender. So you want your beauty blender to be kind of expanded and wet. And then you're just gonna kind of place the concealer where you want it on your face, where you want the brightness to go in it. So under the eyes, and then the Cupid's bow I like to do, and kind of on my chin, and then a bit on the forehead. And then I just use concealer for eye primer because I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to buy actual eye primer, even though I probably should. And then I get some redness around the nose, so I just kind of do that. And then also you're going to want to highlight right near your jawbone. Because, oh. And don't get it all in your hair, because that is not cute, like I just did. Yeah. And having a wet beauty blender to blend is a lot better than a dry one, because then the product moves around a lot better. So just blend, 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 just keep dabbing, not too hard. I love this concealer. It's honestly like my favorite. I used to use NARS, and I love NARS, but the amount of product that you get for like the same price in the NARS and the Tarte Shape Tape is so different. Like the Tarte Shape Tape has twice the amount of product, so whenever I go to the States, I'm definitely going to buy this Tarte Shape Tape Concealer for sure. I see what all the hype's about now. Okay. And now we're gonna go in with our Kat Von D setting powder in translucent. And I love this stuff. It just makes your skin feel so soft, and it looks really creamy when you put it on as well. Like, it makes your skin just like porcelain. So basically put it anywhere that you've concealed to set it. I never used to use setting powder, but then once I started, I just knew that I could never go back because it just makes your makeup like 10 times better. And your concealer doesn't move around when you have this stuff on. So now that's done. You're just going to leave it on to bake for a couple minutes while you're doing your other steps so that it sinks in. And now you're going to want to go in with your Too Faced bronzer. This is the medium shade, and it's the Chocolate Soleil bronzer. And you're just going to want to kind of go like this to find where your cheekbones are, and then just lightly blend it out so you get some definition there. That's really good if you have like chubby cheeks like I do, a baby face, because it's going to give you that definition that you want. Blending is the key to everything. And then just kind of underneath your jawline to get that definition. And then on the forehead, in the little temple area, just want to do a little bit. Okay, and I don't really bother using a nose contouring brush because I just can't be bothered again. So I just kind of squeeze my brush and just kind of go along the sides of my nose with it, with the same Too Faced bronzing powder, and then just a little at the top there, because you want the tip of your nose to stand out, so you want to keep that part highlighted, like naturally highlighted, but we're going to highlight it later. Alright, so now that we are all blended out there, we're going to want to brush away our setting powder. Just kind of brush it away with a light brush. This is actually a dollar store brush that I got for Halloween one year, but I've been using it because it's just really soft and it's good for just brushing away the powder. You don't always need to spend too much money on brushes because there's lots of places that sell them, so you know, if you're tight on cash, don't think you have to spend so much money, because even drugstore brands can be really good. And I will be doing a video on drugstore brands pretty soon, because I think there's a lot of good products that are just recently coming out too. Like Maybelline has some really good lip products, and like I said, L'Oreal, my favorite foundation, so I think they're carrying NYX in drugstores now too, which is pretty cool. You're going to want to go in with a little bit of blush. So I'm going to use the Tarte, I think it's called Amazonian Clay blush. You don't need much of it. And this was in the shade Party. So I'm just going to dab in like this, and then you're going to want to tap your brush off. And just in a stifling motion, just kind of go at the apple of your cheek, and then kind of blend up in stifling motions, because you don't want it to be too intense. Just give you that glow. There we go. And what I also like to do is put a little bit on the bottom of my chin, and then you're gonna want to just do a bit on your nose, like the sun has gotten to you. what you want to do is I would just go back in with this big fluffy brush. And this is, by the way, the Morphe M180, if you were wanting to know. Make sure everything is just super blended. All the blush and everything. So now we're going to go in with our eyeshadow, and I'm going to be using the Blood Sugar palette for the most part today. This is by Jeffree Star. I just love this palette so much. You don't normally see a palette with like intense reds and intense purples, but I actually love using reds and purples, so this palette is basically made for me. We're not going to be using too many intense colors today because we do want it to be more of a natural look. So I'm going to be going in with my Morphe MB23. It's just a very fluffy blending brush. So this one is called Sugarcane. And I would say it's almost like a nudie, pinky beige kind of color. And just in the crease right here. Just make sure it's very blended, but make sure it's just in the crease. That's going to give you that nice transition. And then in the other eye. I find that like peaches and pinky shades are really good for a natural look because they kind of just bring out the natural like pinky tones in your skin, and it makes you just look awake and alive. Okay, so now that we're pretty much blended with the crease color, I'm gonna go in with cake mix, just a little bit of cake mix. I like putting both of them. This is already so pretty. I'm just loving these colors. And then on the other eye, just keep blending. Blending is key. The windshield wiping technique, so when you go like this, and that's kind of what I use. Go in a little bit with Tongue Pop, which is this nice, really peach shade. So beautiful. And I'll just tap it off so there's not too much product on there. And you're just kind of gonna want to go on the side. And I'm not going to use another brush because I think that this brush will be good because it's just going to blend everything out and make it look super natural, nothing too heavy. This is actually just reminding me of like a California sunset right now. And you know, I'm actually going to just put a tiny bit under the eye. Just a tiny, tiny bit though. Nothing too crazy. This is the brush that came in the Urban Decay Naked palette. So I'm just going to be using the end of this one. So just under the eye there. Just the tiniest bit of cake mix. Sorry, that's this one right here. And just make sure it kind of blends up into the other colors. I have a tendency to like open my mouth when I'm doing my under eyes, which is just not cute on camera. So I'm really gonna focus on that. Dip into Sugarcane, and that's a very light shade, and you're just gonna blend. Just so it's all blended again, if I haven't said it enough. We are not done there though, because we are missing one thing that I love, which is a sparkly inner crease. I usually just use the other side of the naked brush. Yeah, it's a really nice thin brush and can really get the glitter just in the crease easily. So what I would do is I like to wet it with my setting spray first because I feel like the color just goes on a lot better that way. There is a really pretty shade called Sweetener in the Blood Sugar palette. Just right there. It's almost like a peachy sunset gold. And I'm just gonna go right on the inner corner here. There we go. This palette in general is just so beautiful. And I've been a huge Jeffree Star fan and since he started his makeup brand pretty much. Every time he comes out with a new collection, I'm just on top of it. Like, I have to buy it. We're gonna go in with another glitter shade because you can't have enough glitter. The Jaclyn Hill palette has some really nice glitter shades as well. Jaclyn Hill palette. We're gonna be going in with this gorgeous shade right here. It's a very light pink and it is called Faint. Just another really beautiful glittery shade. You're gonna kind of want to go just right in the middle of your eye because it's gonna bring out your eyes. It's gonna make them pop. So I'm gonna be going in with this shade right here for the inner corner highlight, and it is called Beam. It's like a champagne sparkly shade. And this is a perfect brush for it. This brush is Morphe M321. Do as much as you like, girl, because you can never have enough glitter, especially in a glowy look. And then I'm just gonna do right under the eyebrow. I'm just gonna go with the shade Buns, which is right here. A little bit on the outer corner here, just to give it a tiny bit of definition. A little bit. And then maybe just a tiny bit underneath. So we're just gonna go in with our Morphe MB29 brush. I like this one for eyebrows because it's got the little spoolie on the end. And we are going to just brush the eyebrow hairs up. And if you have any hairs that are kind of out of place or need to be tweezed, just trim and tweeze those. And this is the Anastasia Dipbrow in taupe. That's what I'll be using. And then kind of follow the natural line of your brows, but just define it. Treat the product like you're applying little eyebrow hairs. And then you're just gonna go in with the other one. Again, brows are sisters, not twins, so just try your best. Following the natural line of your brow. You're gonna wanna extend your brow towards the inner corner of your eye, just a little bit. Don't want it to be too intense. Draw natural brow hairs on the front there. So just very carefully drawing. Brushing your eyebrows out after doing this process it makes it look more natural because you're brushing out any clumps of product and yeah, just making it all blend. I'm really loving how this is turning out. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, you're gonna want to go in with some mascara. Now because this is natural look, you're gonna want to go in with some brown mascara, but I have found it hard to find brown mascara in the stores. So if you find a good one, let me know down in the comments, because I actually prefer brown mascara. So now that your lashes are nice and curled, this is my brown mascara. It is NYX in the shade brown. Okay. Oh god. So you're just gonna want to wipe off any excess. And then starting at the very root of your lashes, you're just gonna want to brush. Just be very light-handed with your mascara, because you don't want it to be clumpy. Just a little bit on the bottom lashes. Tiniest bit. Now, we are gonna want to go in with my favorite part, which is the freckles. Now, with a natural look, and especially a glowy natural look, I just love adding freckles because I think it gives you just a very like youthful, fresh skin vibe. Again, I'm going to be using Morphe, the M250 brush. It's so tiny, like it's just the tiniest little, I think it's called an eyeliner brush on their website, but you can see it's just so good for freckles. Yeah, and you're just gonna dip into your Anastasia, I don't know, Dipbrow in taupe. Again, very lightly, okay? Just dip in, and then I would wipe it on the side, because you don't want it to be too crazy. And then with freckles, you're just gonna want to dab around your nose area, and then a little bit here as well. You want some to be darker than the others, and you want some to be lighter. So you're just gonna kind of want to go all over. To kind of take away that intensity. Just to make it look a bit more natural. You can even just use your finger if that works better for you. And if you really want, you can go back in with your powder brush and kind of just make sure everything's good. Now I'm going to go in again with a lighter hand and just a tiniest bit of product. Tiniest bit. And just very slowly adding freckles where you want them to go. I like them on the tip of the nose. And then some just on the side here. And if you spin the brush like this while you're just going in, it makes it a little bit easier to work with. So I'm just going to clean up the freckles a tiny bit. I'm going to go over with some translucent powder and just a little bit, just to kind of go over it and make it a little bit less intense. Tiniest bit of translucent powder there. And I think that definitely helps. when they're too intense. So now you're going to want to go in with your highlighter. And I did use this in my last video. It's the Wet n Wild highlighter. I love Wet n Wild. I have bought about, I'm going to say about 6 highlighters from them so far. I just love the way they look. It's a very wet look. And you're just going to go in. Don't be afraid to go over top of the freckles because it makes it look like it's more natural and more your skin. And you're just going to want to go ham with the glow. Go ham with the glow. Because why not? You're doing a glowy look. Go ham. I always say, like, don't be afraid to just highlight the crap out of your face. Oh, and I'm using this fan brush by Morphe. Again, I love Morphe. Their prices are amazing. It's an M310 fan brush. You're just going to want to highlight above the brow here, a little bit on the tip of the nose, the cheekbones, and Cupid's bow. A little bit on the chin and the bottom lip. This highlight is just fantastic. And the shade is Golden Flower Crown. It's just a beautiful, true gold. So now that we have all that done, our skin is looking good and fresh and glowy, our eye look is super blended, we're going to go in with our NYX Suede Lip Liner in the shade Sandstorm. And you're just going to want to overline your lips a tiny, tiny bit, but not too much because we want it to look natural. Now we're going to go in with the Jeffree Star Liquid Lip in the shade Mannequin. And it's just the perfect nude shade. I need to get some more soon because I'm like running out. I just love it so much. And the applicator is amazing. It smells like root beer, even better. Makes me want root beer like right now. So I'm going to go in with this gloss. It's actually in the shade Jessica, which is pretty much why I bought it. It's a plumping gloss, so it does make your lips tingle a little bit. So if you're not into that, then I wouldn't recommend this, but I do really love the shade. Not too much. And just smack it together. And it just kind of gives you that glow. So there's our look. I really like how this look turned out. I think it looks really natural, and I think the freckles just add to that glowy skin. So I'm gonna set my makeup. That is the most important part, is setting your makeup. Do not ever forget that step. So you're just gonna set it with the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray. Don't be chintzy with the spray. And that's it. So thank you for watching and following along. I hope you liked the video, and please subscribe to my channel, turn on your notifications for more videos like this. And I would love to hear from you guys, so let me know like what you want to see in the next video, what you want to see me do next, and yeah. And just leave a comment if you liked the video, or if you have any suggestions on what I can improve on, because I am just starting this channel. So yeah, everything helps. Thank you so much, guys.